Well, what a day today. Here is our podcast.
Here's our podcast. We're going to put Anthony Albanese's proposal to ban social media until the age of 16. We're going to put that to the pub test.
Yep.
As an adjunct to that, I brought up the story of Kirsty Allsop. She is an English television presenter. Her son, who was 1 month shy of 16, went travelling around Europe on the train system, on the rails, didn't go off the rails, with a friend of his who was 16. She copped a barrage of criticism for being a neglectful parent. She even got visited by social services. And she's saying, what are we doing to our young kids? On one hand, we're saying, don't be on your phone. But the minute they try and have a sense of adventure or resilience or any of that, suddenly that's terrifying too. Anyway, all those things are discussed on today's show.
Someone who knows a bit about social media is Grace Tame. She'll be joining us as well.
And Emma Gillespie deep dives on what's happening with the Murdoch family succession.
That's all coming up in this podcast.
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
But you're an idiot.
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Top of the morning to you, Amanda. How are you today?
I'm well, but I'm a bit disappointed in a hero of mine.
Is this about the binocular thing?
No.
Because
I said
it's
not about
fully
you.
sanctioned. It's okay for me to have the binacles in the studio.
Well, it's interesting though.
Yesterday proven.
We did a whip poll and mostly guys.
Everyone
brought
said
up.
it's okay.
But online, actually, now that you brought this up, I wasn't going to. Online, the majority of people, very small, winning by a very small majority, think that you shouldn't and think that you're a creep.
I think, but I'm a what?
You're a creep.
I'm not a
I didn't say it. That was the wording on...
This is you controlling the narrative.
This is the wording of it. I didn't set up the wording. People said, mostly women have said, don't do it.
It's
Don't
a problem
do it.
with the woke world that we're living in now.
Brendan.
Man can't have a pair of binoculars to surveil his city, to see what's going on, so I can report to the good, good citizens of our town.
You can do whatever you
what's
like.
happening in the metropolis.
Brendan, as a strong white man, funnily enough, you can do whatever you like. People are just saying,
right on.
You do it, but here's what I think of you. And you deal with it.
Okay.
No, the reason I'm disappointed...
What are you disappointed?
Here's a press release just that's half an hour old from Dave Grohl.
Breaking news.
From Dave Grohl.
From the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter.
Congratulations.
Born outside my marriage. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children, and I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. We're grateful for your consideration toward all the children involved, my many, many children, as we move forward together.
So...
Awkward.
That's a lot.
So he's been married since 2003
Yep.
to a woman called Jordan. They have three children
Jordan
together.
Blum.
The eldest together is 18. They've got 3 kids. I'm just there'd be a whole lot of women like me, I think, this morning go, Dave, not you, Dave, not you too, Dave. Dave.
But...
Dave, what's the but?
If we're at another time, a man like Dave needs to spread his seed around a bit.
But
that's
the
what it's
reason we
about.
love Dave is we didn't think he was a man like Dave.
But, you know,
when you see him doing things like he's touring and he plays drums with his daughter and he's barbecuing for people.
For the homeless. He's a great guy.
That's the thing. He's an amazing guy.
I don't have any... That's a hell of an awkward situation.
A hell of an awkward situation.
I get worried when I say I come home after a bit of a bender and I have to apologise.
And your wife says, have you been using binoculars again? Where's your press release, Brendan?
Troubles. But, yeah, that's a...
Oh, there's a lot of pain and work behind this.
You know what? Women are just so sensitive these days. You have a child out of your marriage. It's so woke these days.
Yeah, isn't it just? Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Yeah. Because there's Pink doing this, putting out a press release. Hey, I just had a baby that's not my
Imagine
husband.
Pink had another
but
baby.
We're working towards it. Don't worry. I'll do a barbecue for you next time I'm in town.
I love Corey. I love my whole family.
We're working towards it.
Anyway.
Yikes.
Well, maybe we should play a Dave.
There goes my hero.
Maybe we should play a Foo Fighters song to start the show.
Let's do it.
Is that on the nose?
No, let's play the song.
Gemini Rai, what were we starting the show with?
Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
He's done that as well.
Is the world going to spin off its
He's done a vertical dance with somebody.
Whitney? Why don't we put Learn to Fly on and we all just pretend this didn't happen?
Okay.
And we just think of Dave feeding the homeless.
No, Dave's owning up to his responsibilities. He's saying, here's who I am, here's what's happened.
Okay.
I think we can face it.
Action-packed show today. We've got Grace Tame joining us on the show. I'm looking forward to talking to Grace. I've been a long-time admirer of her. Also, Instagram makes its return and we can't do anything till we do the Magnificent Seven.
Question 1. Lord Howe, Hamilton, kangaroo, types of what?
Lord Howe. That's what Dave Grohl's wife said.
Jam Nation.
WSFM, hello there, it's Jonesy and Amanda. Thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Congratulations to Dave Grohl. He's just announced the birth of another little baby, a child. So he's got 3 kids. Now he's
there's
got 4.
But he goes on to say, this child was born outside my marriage.
You know, that's...
I plan to be a loving, supportive parent to her. I love my wife and children. I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and their forgiveness as we all move forward. That's a hell of a... I want a hell of a backstory to say, okay, so we're going to have to go public with this somehow. What am I going to say?
I imagine Dave comes home from a hard day's work behind the kit and Jordan goes, how was your day, honey? And he said, well, here's the thing. How do you like the wording of this press release? Have I got my apostrophes in the right place? Can you fact check this for me? Just when you think your day's bad, I always just think of something like that. And I go, my life's not so bad.
Oh, but Dave. Nice Dave.
We're into the Magnificent Seven. There are 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
Not all men, but Dave.
But it's about getting question 7 right. Mark is in Campbelltown.
Hello, Mark.
G'day, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Lord Howe, did it happen? Lord Howe, Hamilton, kangaroo are all Australian what? Islands.
Apple has announced the newest version of their iPhone. Which number are we up to now?
16, I think.
16.
And we're up to number 25 charges.
Yeah.
Let's play Lyrical Assassin.
Let's do it. What song has these lyrics, Mark? We're going to quote the lyrics and see if you can guess them. I'll do the quoting, shall I?
You're okay with this?
Yeah. Well, I don't sing it, do I? Just say it.
No, let's sing it back to me.
Okay, here we go. I feel so untouched and I want you so much.
You got to do it more conversational.
Well, I don't want Mark to get the wrong idea. I don't want him to think, well, all right,
imagine
Mark.
you're having a conversation with Mark.
Let's say with Dave Grohl.
Mark's Dave Grohl.
Okay.
And you're Jordan Blum.
Okay.
He's missing.
I feel so untouched and I want you so much that I can't resist you. It's not enough to say that I miss you. I feel so untouched right now. Need you so much somehow. I can't forget you.
Oh, okay.
Mark, do you know what the lyrics are? I mean, do you know what the song is?
No, I would not have a clue, sorry.
See, I was trying to get some phrasing to help him. I feel so untouched and I want you so much.
Well, let's go to Martin at Forestville.
Has my phrasing helped you, Martin?
Not really.
I'll do it again. I feel so untouched and I want you so much.
Sounding a bit robotic.
Well, I'm trying to put some pacing in without giving it away because you get cranky.
But, no, what it is I feel so untouched. I want you so much.
Yeah, but that's not helping just saying the words.
There's this lyrical assassin.
Well, let's go to 9 o'clock and no one might guess it.
If that happens, so be it.
Oh, so be it. Dave Grohl's off the hook. It all happens.
If my day is bad, Dave Grohl is having a worse day, so it doesn't bother me.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We're into the Magnificent Seven. We find ourselves at question 3.
Lyrical assassin. Speaking of songs, your turn, Brendan, to see if you can convince Martin of Forestville that he knows this song.
Martin, I feel so untouched and I want you so much that I just can't resist you. It's not enough to say that I miss you. I feel so untouched right now. I need you so much somehow I can't forget you.
Martin, do you know the song?
Thanks, Brendan. I think it's... I'm pretty sure it's Untouched by the Veronicas.
Yes, it is. I haven't heard from them for a while.
I should do a collab with the Veronicas. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I've heard you sing. I'm not sure. Question 4 for you, Martin. This is multiple choice. What is a group of ladybugs called? A, or ladybirds, as we call them in Australia. Ryan, who's written the question.
What?
A, a loveliness of ladybirds. B, an attractiveness of ladybirds. Or C, a comeliness of ladybirds?
I'm going to go with loveliness.
It is, isn't that nice? A loveliness of ladybirds.
Comeliness is a bit sexy.
Okay.
But it is. It's a little bit
Remember
sexy.
ladybird, fly away home. Well, that's charming. Your house is on fire and your children have
Actually,
gone.
I was watching Channel 7 News last night and they got the stars on there. I was reading Pisces stars. You're going to have a cracking day today.
Am I?
And it's going to be a sexy day. That's what it said.
A sexy day.
A sexy, it was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something about sexy day.
I'm
for
having
you.
my hair done.
Really? Where at?
On my head.
Which member of the boy band One Direction was the first to leave the group? They branched out and they said, I'm leaving you losers. I'm taking on...
And he's gone off to do
solo.
not much.
Yeah, he's gone off to the not much.
Is that the question?
Yeah, the
That is
question
the
is which
question.
member of One Direction left first?
Zayn Malik?
Yeah.
Listen to you go, Martin.
You
Well
know your
done.
stuff, Martin.
Question 6, Yannick Sinner is the world number 1 in which sport?
Tennis.
Yeah, he just won the US Open.
Cowboy Carter is an album made by which American artist, Martin?
Miley Cyrus's dad, I don't know.
No. It's come to that. What is his name?
It received 0 nominations at the Country
Billy
Music
Ray?
Awards, despite topping the country charts.
Yeah, so it's a woman.
Yep.
That album has been mega, mega famous. It's her first kind of dabbling in the country field, but she's been slighted.
Yep.
Linda's in Pimble. Do you know who Cowboy Carter is?
I sure do. It's Beyonce.
Look at Linda.
0 nominations at the Country Music Awards.
Well, they don't like her doing those parts of music.
Well,
man.
she said she started.
That's what she
grew
started
up
in
in an area
country.
where she started in a country as a country performer.
Congratulations to you, Linda. You've won the Jam Pack. It's all coming away. A double pass to John Stevens, A Night at the Barracks, live concerts in Manly this spring, an Aqua Splash party for 10 at Cables Wake Park and Aqua Park Penrith. The most fun you're going to have in and on the water. And Jonesy and Amanda Coach, you choose 50 colour in and some Staedtler pencils. Linda, anything you'd like to add to this?
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Linda,
I'm really looking forward to all of that.
Oh, great.
That sounds awesome.
You're so
awesome.
welcome. Oh, nice.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast. Wake up and focus.
We have places to be.
It's time for action.
We are back in business.
Thumbing through the Jalmanac, our big book of musical facts. On this day in 1976, KC and the Sunshine Band released their hit, Shake, 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 Shake Your Booty.
Shake your booty. I was once working on the Andrew Denton show on Channel 7, a Tonight Show, and KC came in to perform. And it looked like he'd had a lobotomy in that there seemed to be a big incision around the top of his head.
I think he had a strange hairline. I'll give you that.
No, I think there were stitches.
He had a bit of a skullet. Who's that NRL player that's got the skullet going at the moment?
What's a skullet?
So they shave all the front of your head here and there's just hair at the back.
Sort of, right. Opposite of what you've got.
You know. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm just saying it because it's there. You've got a very luxuriant
Oh,
head
you
of
know,
hair.
look,
You
I
do.
know I've got a bit of a DP happening
Well, no,
there.
you have to explain what DP
A
is.
Devon patch, a slight Devon patch, but
No,
I'm
you're
56. It's going to
very
happen. I'm
lucky.
not going to get. I'm going to get yeah hair.
You have a
Or
very thick thatch. You do. You should be grateful.
So you say these hurtful things to me, and then
I said it as a joke because actually you're lucky with your hairline. My mother once said to me, Amanda, I can see your hairline, but sadly we're at the beach.
Right. Anyway, back to Casey and his strange hairline. Shake Your Booty was parodied 3 years after it came to the fore. It was one of Frank Zappa's.
It's not Weird Al?
Not Weird Al. This is before Weird Al did any of that. It was Frank Zappa. And from the 1979 album, it was called Shake Your Booty, but spelled shake as an SHEIK. YERBOUTI.
Thank you.
Shake Your Booty. It didn't stop there. The album is known as his most controversial to date. You can listen to Jewish Princess in your own time.
Thank you, I appreciate
If you would
it.
like to get some, we don't have any Frank Zappa at the moment because I'm just sparing everyone of that. But let's put on the OG, he with the strange hairline, KC and the Sunshine Band. Get it on. If you've got roller skates, feel free to just have a bit of a groove.
Jam Nation.
We're going to be talking about this later on the pub test about Anthony Albanese's push to ban social media for children under the age of, well, they're working out 14 or 16. His preference is 16, but there would be some discussion as to when this can kick in and how it be implemented, et cetera, et cetera. He did say parents want their kids off their phones and on the footy field, and so do I, he said. There's been some backlash to that. People going, well, sport isn't the only thing. My child loves making videos. My child's real world is a computer world, but it's not a social media world, or et cetera. Sport isn't the answer to everything. But I do feel that we're saying to our kids, get off your phone, but we've made them too scared to go outside because we are too scared to let them go outside. I've been following the story of Kirsty Allsop. She hosts a TV show in England called Location, and Selling Houses, etc., where she and her cohort, another guy called Phil, go around and find houses for people. She's a big personality. And she took to social media to say that her son, who was a month short of 16, had gone travelling with a friend of his who was 16 into railing on trains around Europe, had the time of his life, blah, blah, blah. This opened a can of worms. She was called a negligent mother. Someone contacted social services. She's been listed with social services. She's been called a negligent mother. All of this kind of stuff.
Because he went on a train?
Because people said he's too young to be doing that.
But he's 16.
And he was 1 month short of 16. And she said, what's going on? We're telling our kids, get off your phone, but everyone's so scared to step outside. Is the world more scary now than it used to be? I don't think it is, but we're more aware of the fears.
Oh, definitely.
And this is what Dr. Carl spoke about the other day. He said our brains are tuned to, from our most primitive selves, to difference and fear. So we lean in when we see it. So we're hopeless at risk assessment. We climb a ladder knowing we shouldn't, because that's familiar to us, but we're fearful that our kids will be kidnapped. Here are the three big things the parents are scared of. 1, cars, that they'll be hit by a car. 2, that they'll be kidnapped. How often does that happen? 3, what other parents think. So if you give your kids some freedom like Kirsty has, look at what everyone else has done. You will be seen as an outlier parent. Helicopter parenting used to be the extreme. Now that's the norm. And so we've created this terrible fear in our kids. So what are they supposed to do? We're giving them no alternative to the life they have on their phones. We've stripped it all from them. They are too fearful. They can't ride a bike to school. They can't go anywhere on their own because we have this unnatural fear of what will happen to them. Yeah. They are getting no life experience whatsoever. So we really have to look at what alternative we give them when we take their phones away.
Well, this will be good fodder for the pub test.
Yeah.
We'll do that a little bit later on.
Jam Nation.
Grace Tame, what a woman. An advocate, an artist, a comedian, an ultra-marathon runner, an author, and how very casual, the 2021 Australian of the Year. She's about to hit the road with a new tour, Lightening the Load with Grace Tame. But before she does all of that, she's joining us right here, right now. Hello, Grace.
Morning.
Lightening the load. Tell me what it means. What are people going to have and feel and see?
Well, it was a pretty hefty load that was thrust on me in 2021 out of absolutely nowhere. Well, the idea behind the tour is to really look back on the last 3.5 years and what that really bizarre, jarring experience was to be thrust out of obscurity and onto a massive platform to talk about a really fraught subject matter without any kind of run-up and with very little guidebook.
Because you're right, we expected you to be able to speak at the drop of a hat about the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to you in your life and just go, yes, so tell us about that, Grace. And this next interview 10 minutes later, tell us about that. Have you come out of this still as yourself, or have you had to put some sort of hard carapace in place?
Well, it's interesting. I think that we're always evolving as individuals, and that certainly had a huge impact on me, and I think I'm still unpacking that in many ways. You know, it's interesting considering that the human brain doesn't really stop developing until about age 25, and I stepped onto that stage to accept that award 1 month after my 26th birthday, and I was there to accept the award for my advocacy around child sexual abuse and my own lived experience of that. And I had done a lot of work unpacking it and understanding it and obviously speaking publicly about it. But you can only do so much of that with the neural architecture, with the toolkit that you have. And you sort of have to wait until you have a certain amount of time and distance to reflect on some of those things. And so it wasn't until I was under this massive spotlight with all of these eyes looking at me and all this media scrutiny that I was actually able to, that I had the brain, the adult brain, to do a lot of that.
Well, as wisdom, with age comes wisdom. Is there anything that you look back on in the last few years? Do you say, do you think, I could have done that better? Because there was a moment there where you were just in the news for everything, from the side-eye to ScoMo to Brittany Higgins. It was just like you were everywhere.
Oh, look, there were certainly mistakes that I made along the way, and there will be many more mistakes that I make. That's inherent in the experience of being a human being, I think. But, yeah, certainly as a 26-year-old kid, definitely there were mistakes that I made. I mean, at times, I think that I was, and probably understandably quite reactive to that political machine because, I was in survival mode. That's how you have to get through something like that. The volume and the speed of the requests and all of the commitments that we were having to contend with was just it was unnatural at times. And it's thankfully quietened down a bit, but it was a steep learning curve.
Oh, I bet.
What's the strangest thing you've seen, like in your life in the media? What's the strangest thing that you've seen, like fans of yours? Because you've got a lot of fans.
Well, there is a person out in the wilderness. Well, I don't know if they were in the wilderness actually, but there is a person out there who has my face tattooed on their ass.
They don't have your ass tattooed on their face. You sure you got that round the right way?
I have got that. I've seen photographic evidence of it.
And is it a good likeness?
It's the image of my face giving the side eye to Scott.
Good. And was this person saying, "Look how much of a supporter of yours I am"?
Yeah.
I think so. To put someone's face on your ass is a big deal.
and
it's surreal, isn't it?
And which way is the side eye? Which way is the side eye directed?
Oh,
Grace?
yeah. Is the eye looking at the bum?
Is it looking to the middle or is it looking off to the actual side?
I'd have to burrow into my photos. I was just taken aback by the whole concept.
Did you see it in the flesh or was it a photograph you saw?
I have not seen it in the flesh. I have not seen my own face on someone's ass cheek in the flesh yet.
Well, Grace,
the year is still young,
I think you've done extraordinary things in your short 26 years.
29. 29.
Are you 29? When did this happen?
So 26 was Australian of the Year.
Yeah, I know. Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes, it was. It was 3 years ago.
Hang on, that must make me 50.
You'll have to updo your tat.
I'll have to updo my tat. Grace, it's just so nice to meet you over Zoom. Thank you for joining us. You can get tickets to Lightening the Load with Grace Tame at fane.com.au/Grace Tame. Grace, thank you.
Thanks for having me on. It's great to chat.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
We were just chatting with Grace Tame and she was telling us a very surprising story about someone, must be an admirer, because what else would they do it? Someone who's done this.
There is a person out there who has my face tattooed on their ass.
And is it a good likeness?
It's the image of my face giving the side eye.
Remember the side eye to ScoMo? We tried to ascertain where the side eye is directed. Is it to the middle of the backside or to the other part of the backside?
And she said she had no further details. She'd have to go back and look at the photograph again.
So we're waiting for Grace to come back to us on that.
Yeah.
Portrait tattoos are an interesting thing.
Well, portrait tattoos are interesting at the best of times, but a portrait tattoo of somebody famous.
Yeah.
That's a big call, isn't it? I've often said that that's what your pencil case is for, If I'd got a tattoo of, Marty Roan.
Well, you have a tattoo of
but if you're
denim and lace Marty Roan.
But the person who you're enamoured with isn't always a person you will be enamoured with forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder about that. There was, you see people that would get a tattoo of like a wife loses a husband or something, it's an elaborate portrait tattoo of that husband on the arm. And you think, well, you're going to get married again one day.
Or maybe not.
Or one time I was with Jimmy Barnes, we were at an event, and this lady came up and she undid her top, pulled it down at the back, and there was this incredible portrait tattoo of Barnesy from the Barnstorming album. It was the album cover.
And what was the imagery on that cover?
It's just Barnesy's head.
Right.
With the mullet, and it was breathtakingly amazing. And it was all over her back. Proportionately fantastic. And so this woman...
So actual size of his head?
Pretty much. And Barnesy and I are standing there. So the woman has taken her top off, but her back to us. Yeah. And she's just holding her bosoms, as it were. We, didn't see any of that. And Barnesy and I said, wow, that's extraordinary. And I said, well, imagine if you were in like a situation, a boudoir situation. Would that be something that would...
Well, for Barnesy, it's a question to ask, but for you
Barnesy,
as well.
Here, I'm looking at myself, mate.
But for another person.
If I was in that situation, I'm looking at, is that a giant cold spoon?
I know.
Or does it keep me going? I don't know. Or maybe you just have to not do that particular repertoire anymore.
I don't know.
Take that from the...
Or if you get a tattoo of someone and then they disgrace themselves or do something that you disapprove of, and you've got that tattoo forever.
Conditions apply.
Yeah, if I had Lance Armstrong on the back of my neck. Call the police.
You'd have to drop that one from your repertoire too.
Tribal Drum is beating for Fan for Life.
Yeah.
Getting a tat of a famous person. Have you seen one? Have you got one?
Have you got one?
Where is it?
13 WSFM. If we got the portrait tattoo of Grace Tame, the person that's got the side eye, that would be...
We'd like to see it. We'd like to see it.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Grace Tame was just on and she told us that a fan has a portrait tat of her doing side eye on his/her bum. We didn't determine the sex and we didn't determine which way the side eye is directed.
No.
But that was made famous when ScoMo was talking and she gave him the side eye.
Yeah. So and someone said, you know what, I want that image on my bottom.
That's been immortalised. The Tribal Drum is beating Fan for Life. What famous person do you have on your person?
Hello, Brad. Who have you got?
Oh, it's not me. It's a friend. Look, I'd call them the Osbournes. They've both got tattoos of strange things all over them, but his wife has Angry Anderson on her butt.
On her bum?
Yeah, from the 70s too, so I reckon it'd be pretty saggy now.
And like just a big picture of his bald head. What is it?
Yeah, his face, and she reckons she's flashed it at him at a Rose Tattoo concert. So they're an interesting couple.
Have you seen the tat, Brad?
I've seen the top of the head because it's in a pretty, it's down low, and it's my mate's wife. I don't want to look at her ass, you know.
So say she's wearing a bikini. Where is it positioned on the bum?
Look, not a bikini type of person, I wouldn't imagine, but it's down low. It's near, it's right on the cheek down the bottom, but it's not somewhere I'd even want to look at her ass.
But is it the size of a hand, say?
It'd be the palm of your hand, so it's...
Well, that's a fairly sized tattoo.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And Angry's not that big, so it might be to scale. Well, thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
I wonder how Ango feels. He's up there on the stage performing away.
Someone bends over in front of him.
And he goes, well... Hang on, is that me?
But not just that. You'd think someone was chucking a brown eye at you.
You would think that
and
was happening.
And you go, well, hang on, it's me.
There's so many questions and so little time. Leanne has joined us.
Hi, Leanne. Have you got a tat of someone famous?
Okay, so it's not me, and I know that this is one for you, Amanda, because we both love Neil Finn and Tim Finn. So I went to a Tim Finn concert at the Berrifed, and, I was pretty close because I'm a bit of a fan. And then front row is a lady with a back tattoo of Tim Finn. Her dress, the back is cut out of her dress, and she's just front and centre, Tim Finn concert with a Tim Finn tattoo. And so distracting.
Yes. And I've got questions. Like, what form of Tim Finn? Is it sort of like from the Escapade album?
Oh, Staring at the Embers, yeah.
Oh, maybe a little bit split ends-ish.
Oh,
right. And how big was it?
Yeah. It would have been from her lower back up to, the rib cage. He was, popping out. It was not just his face, it was, a little bit of his body as well.
Oh, Tim's
and
body.
Did Tim see it?
I think that she might be known to Tim. I think she's a bit of a die-hard fan. Like, I thought I was a big fan, but then I'm like, okay, you win.
Yeah, that's right.
Known to Tim.
Yeah. She had an anklet on that was set off when she got within 50 metres.
If we had someone that liked the show that much that they got a tattoo of us, would we be flattered or scared?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Okay, we checked all 4 systems and game with a go.
Well, there goes nothing. Well, we came into work early this morning, and a press release was freshly released that we saw. You may have heard it now in Natasha's news. From Dave Grohl. I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage.
When you say it like that, if you say, I recently became a father of a newborn baby daughter. Oh, congratulations.
And then you go,
conditions apply.
Here's the thing.
Thing.
Born outside of my marriage, I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a politician. I'm retiring to spend more time with my family. And I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness.
Can I just say this, though? He is a rock star. I think there should be some sort of caveat for those guys.
Do you?
Yeah.
But that's it. He said, we're grateful for all the consideration toward all the children involved as we move forward together.
It's very modern.
Yeah, but you don't know how his wife and children feel. It's very modern that they're supposed to just assume this is okay. I would wonder if, I think a whole lot of women today going, oh, Dave, not Dave. Was it a long-term affair? Was it a fling? Was the baby a surprise to the woman as well, meaning did she want to have a baby? So many questions, and Dave isn't answering any of them. But I've been...
I noticed that the comments for his Instagram
have been
switched
turned off. I'd have too many questions. I've been listening to a podcast recently about Boris Becker. Remember Boris Becker, world-famous tennis player, at the height of his powers.
And he had it off with someone in the wardrobe.
He was married at the time, and he was at a club, and he went into the broom cupboard, the janitor cupboard, with this woman, and somehow he's claiming it wasn't even full-on normal relations.
What was it?
He's sort of saying somehow the stuff was transferred from there to there, and she got pregnant. Anyway.
Somehow.
Some conditions apply. Anyway, so in the broom cupboard.
They can happen.
And then he finds out
There's
8 months...
a lot of ammonia in those things.
Finds out 8 months later, hey, I'm about to have a baby. And he had to do the similar thing. Tell his wife, here's what's going on. You know, stay out of broom cupboards. Stay out of other people's private parts.
And I feel bad when I buy another motorbike. I say that to my wife, we've got a new addition to the family, honey.
You going to have a press release? Think of us at this time.
If you're having a bad day, just think of Dave Grohl.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation Podcast.
Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. Anthony Albanese's new social media rules. Do they pass the pub test?
Well, they're proposed rules. He's leading the charge to ban access for anyone under the age of 16 from using social media. He is saying it's a parent's nightmare. There's so many stories about kids being bullied, kids being abused, terrible self-image issues, all that kind of stuff that we know. Terrible. And so it's interesting because you think, well, of course, the age of above 16, studies have shown the difference of your mental health outcomes if you wait till you're 16 to have access to all this. And yet, I was reading yesterday that a number of people are saying this isn't right. LGBTQI people with disabilities, lots of tech-savvy kids are finding their communities online. This is where their lives are. If they're not accepted in the bigger community or they're just trying to find people like them, they say that this community has saved their life. So is it throwing the baby out with the bathwater, that there are huge positives to social media as well?
Well, we've got to do something.
We do have to do something. This is what the thing is. But what is that something? Is this the something? How do you feel? These new social media rules proposed, do they pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
I demand entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
Put on your dancing shoes.
Now give me your best shot.
She is the editor of the Daily Oz. Em Gillespie is here with That's Entertainment.
Hello. Well, it's real life succession this week. The Murdoch family are in court fighting against each other in honestly, a case that could be another season of the HBO show that we love and miss, Succession. Rupert Murdoch and his son Lachlan are going against 3 of Rupert Murdoch's other kids, James, Elizabeth and Prudence, because Rupert wants to break up this family trust to give all the power of Fox News and News Corp after he dies to his son Lachlan.
But people for many years have been wondering what the succession plan would be, and for a while it looked like James. Someone said that Elizabeth is actually the media genius in the family, but she stepped aside some time ago. Why is he changing it?
So Lachlan Murdoch has been the boss of Fox News for 5 years now. He became CEO in 2019, and then last year Rupert announced he was stepping back from News Corp as well, and Lachlan was appointed chair of that organisation. And it's obvious to everyone from the outside looking in that Lachlan really is Daddy's protege. Lachlan is the Kendall Roy of this situation, and he's really been groomed over many, many years to kind of take over the reins. He's very politically aligned with Rupert. He's super right-wing, conservative. His agenda is very much playing out by the minute on Fox News over in the US. Very pro-Trump, very make America great again.
Is he pro-Trump?
Yes.
I thought they flipped.
No, Fox News is hugely still pro-Trump.
Hugely.
Because I've had a few dealings with Lachlan. He seems like a pretty reasonable guy. He rides motorbikes. He's got a tattoo.
He's a great guy, but that
reasonable
doesn't.
sort of guy.
But this is his allegiances, though.
I think that's kind of the danger or the prominence of his power is that he's a player that kind of can seem like a reasonable, nice, normal guy, but at the end of the day, he's willing to make the tough calls like his dad. But what's interesting about this legal battle is the 4 kids that I mentioned are part of what's called an irrevocable trust. Now, this was set up in 1999 after Rupert Murdoch divorced Anna, who is the mum of Lachlan, James and Elizabeth.
Yep.
It's like a will, but it's a really intensely legally binding document. It's essentially not meant to be able to be changed. Once an irrevocable trust is finalised, its terms cannot be changed.
Wow.
Now, that trust dictates that those 4 children, after Rupert dies, would be given equal voting rights and equal control of his corporations, so News Corp, Fox Corp.
And is this because James in recent years has turned more leftish leaning?
Yes,
is that
exactly.
what's brought all this on?
James has come more to the centre. I think it's just that, Lachlan has become the most involved in the family business of any of Rupert Murdoch's kids. So it makes sense from, that perspective. But
to take their voting away, obviously they're not happy. That's why it's in court.
Exactly. So,
but also with the voting or with the media, people lean into what's negative. So it's all about clickbait. So it's
I think James stepped away because he was concerned about how Fox was covering climate change.
Yeah.
That's why he thought, I can't align myself.
But people don't want to
with
hear about climate change because people don't want to hear.
That's the thing. That's why we have Fox and that's why we have other networks.
But you know what I mean? Like if we talked about climate change all the time, we would lose listeners because people don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, particularly when it's an election year in the US. I mean, it's hard enough to get Australians to care about it, let alone Americans. But when you factor in the political climate there, I think what seems like a sort of family fight, if you really sort of look at the nitty-gritty of it, if those voting rights are lost to those other children and if Lachlan has full control, if, Rupert 2.0 then takes over after he dies, then you're essentially looking at a future where Fox News has no hope of becoming the once more moderate news service that it was.
Can I bookend this? If you were inherited, if you were a Murdoch child, would you want to be the sit back and cruise kid? Or the one that wants to run the business?
I don't think any of them sit back and cruise. They're not like the kids of property developers. They've been groomed to run the business.
But I think about James Packer when Kerry died and James inherited all that. And then he said, right, I'm going to do this, going to make this giant casino empire.
Yeah.
If he just got all the billions of dollars off his dad, put it in the bank, he'd probably be in the same position he is now.
Well, I think he's a really good example, for a local example of what it would be like to have an extremely powerful and influential father who is not only rich but incredibly ambitious and incredibly passionate about his business projects. And I think same thing with the Murdoch kids. It's nice to think that if you were the kid of a billionaire, you'd fly around on your private jet and live life large. But the pressure, I think, that is put on them and the psychological impacts of that, I don't think that they can sort of just sit still. There's that sort of constant fire burning in them to want to please daddy.
And also, as we saw in Succession, it was the idea that they were running a media empire got lost in the ambition fight. It's a hugely responsible job to run a network. And that's what we're seeing, as you said, with Lachlan at the helm, that's Fox's fate ready to go.
I see me on a sun lounge on a massive ozone hole making yacht. That's what I say.
Well, this is going to play out over the next 2 weeks. My favourite thing about this is the case is being heard in Reno, Nevada, which is a famously dead-end part of the world. Because family trust law in Nevada, in the state of Nevada, is quite loose or favourable towards what Rupert is trying to achieve. There's also no tax on any kind of estates. So it's favourable conditions and really strict privacy laws that would allow him to make changes that he wouldn't necessarily have to disclose to the rest of the trust. Wow. But I just love imagining this family camped out in Reno, Nevada for 2 weeks. Can you think of the episode?
It's pretty down, run down.
It is. They're private jets in a tent.
Well, plenty of places to park. Thank you, Hem.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation.
Podcast.
We're not gonna take it. I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. We're not gonna take this anymore.
The pub test today, Albo's new social media rules. Do they pass the pub test?
This is being mooted. The Prime Minister has said he wants to lead the charge to ban access for anyone under the age of 16 for social media. The plan is a bit vague at the moment, how they'd police it, what form of social media they mean. Do they mean all of it? Lots of parents are saying, thank you, somebody help us. Lots of parents aren't aware of what their kids are up to, but we're all seeing the results of bullying, of all kinds of distress that young children are in, competition to how they should look and how they should be. On the other hand, I saw a whole lot of comments from people saying, people like kids who are in the LGBTQI community, people who have disabilities, people who are computer nerds and want to find their tribe. That's how they're finding their tribe, and that's what's keeping them alive. So what do you do by banning it? Albo's new social media rules, so they pass the pub test.
Yes, I believe that it should be. I'd say make it 14, not 16. But there are a lot of predators out there who target our young children. And I want us to allow our children and grandchildren to mature gradually.
I think it does pass the pub test. Social media can just be so dangerous for children, all the bad comments and everything out there. As Amanda was saying, with people with special needs finding their groups, if you're under 16, your parents should be doing that for you anyway, because you don't really know who you're talking to over social media. So for safety, maybe the parents should be doing it.
I'm someone who works in childcare and seeing the difference that social media makes on some of these younger kids, particularly just like primary school age. I think the argument for online communities, I've seen kids with those online communities who struggle with actual social skills day to day. So definitely all for the policies, all for the restrictions for social media.
Set ground rules right now, because as far as I'm concerned, social media for young people is like alcohol. There needs to be safeguards, there needs to be rules, and that is good to set it right now so we don't have trouble in the future.
I'm all for Albo's proposition. Being a mum, I've had 2 little ones growing up, and all they did was sit on their phones on social media where they could have been outside in the pool, riding their bikes in summertime instead of just being inside. And it drove me up the wall. So fully support Albo.
There it is.
People saying there that
go out in the morning, you come back at night.
People saying that parents should be doing more. We can't expect parents to. We can't rely on parents. Otherwise, kids will fall through the cracks.
Well, imagine if we didn't have drink laws. So you could have a kid could have a drink whenever they wanted. It was up to the parents.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, we need help from higher up.
Jam Nation.
Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to survive a plane crash? Well, in May 1970, George Burke, an Air Force officer, took to the skies in a small aircraft along with 13 others. Just minutes after takeoff, the plane suffered explosive decompression, sending the aircraft hurtling back to the ground. Everyone except George died. George was the sole survivor. And here we are, over 50 years later. He's still here to tell his story. Hello, George Burke. How are you?
Good day, mates. I guess it's too early to put a shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah,
it's never too early to do that, George.
Good work, you've established all that. So, mate, what's it like? What's it like to be in a plane crash?
Yeah, what happened that day? Take us back to it.
Well, I'll be quick. A lot of things happened inside the airplane. We were found out we were at 2,900 feet on climb out. First thing I noticed was a window cracked. Then a few seconds later, the airplane had what they called rapid decompression. All the windows were blown out. I glanced quickly to my left and then to my right. I was seated in the front compartment with two of my NCOs. The props were windmilling. Flames were lapping over and under the engine cowling. I unbuckled my seatbelt with the airplane going down, pitching, yawing, and rolling. I stood up and did a 180-degree turn, grabbed a hold of the structural bulkhead doorway, looking down into the cockpit. The nose was split open. The top part of the canopy was flapping. The instrumentation panel was back in my boss's lap, who was flying as co-pilot. The left side of the cockpit was completely gone. It was open. And although I do not consciously remember seeing Captain Robinson, Robbie, our pilot, his head was off at his shoulders.
Oh.
He was decapitated. I sat back down on my seat, buckled my seatbelt in a survival position as best I could, put something in my lap, perhaps a cushion had blown free, and the last conscious thought I remember having was, I hope my insurance policies are intact. I remember the impact was the braking and bending and shearing metal. I was thrust violently back against the bulkhead. We had airline-type seats in the aircraft. It was an Air Force T-29 Convair. And then when the airplane stopped moving, my face was slammed forward on the table in front of us. And it turned out it broke my nose. And then I ordered one of the guys next to me, come on, Fred, let's get the hell out of here. I unbuckled my seatbelt, stood up, three-quarter standing position, pivoted towards the aisle. The next thing I felt was large, like buckets of scalding hot water being thrown on me. It was what people told me later what's called a flashover. Then everything went black. And then I don't know how long it was, only just a minute or two. I opened my eyes outside the airplane, face down. I don't recall doing it, but I told those around me for many weeks when I was in the ICU. I was in the ICU at Brooke Army Medical Center for 3 months, not expected to live, and 18 months in the hospital. When I was still somewhat alert for the first 7 to 10 days, one of the things I told the rescuers and my hospital staff at the burn unit that I dug my way out through a crack in the fuselage of the airplane. I don't remember doing that. I don't know how long I laid there. I rolled over on my back. I looked at my hands. My hands were charred black. The skin on my left hand, I was left-handed, was hanging like a glove, a softball-sized glove of skin.
Oh.
I looked at my shoes. My shoes were still on, fortunately, or my feet would have been burned off. The laces in my left shoe were gone, which I found rather unusual.
Yeah.
I thought I heard somebody crying for help. I rolled back on my stomach, elbows and knees, crawled maybe 10 yards to the airplane, and heard a muffled explosion, hissing noise, and another explosion. I felt a great deal of heat in my face. And after a few curse words, there's nobody alive in that SOB. I did a 180-degree turn and crawled back to where I opened my eyes, overturned on what turned out to be parts of airplane and eucalyptus trees.
And you were the sole survivor of this. That's extraordinary.
How long until you were rescued?
Well, no one knew that. It was just literally minutes. But no one knew that I was found. The first people on the scene were volunteer firefighters from Shelbyville, California, which is near Novato. They found me about 40 minutes later down the pasture underneath some trees where I managed to walk.
Oh.
But the story that came about, which was true, a rancher named John Davio and his wife managed a 2,000-acre cattle ranch in Shelbyville. And every Monday morning for 25 years, he set out in his four-wheel drive red pickup truck to check the area for dead and stray cattle. Monday morning, May 4th, 1970, the weather was so bad, rain, clouds, fog. He cut short his trip and come down through a ravine. And when I saw him for the first time in 1974, when we went back up to the crash site, he told me, Captain, all the years I've been on that ranch, I'd never been through that ravine before. He was headed back down to the ranch, smelled smoke. What are the neighbors doing burning in the day like today?
And he found you. That's what it was. He found you. So you're like a survivor out of all that. It was destiny. It was destiny that you would be found.
George, one of the things that people ask is if you have a near-death experience like that, does it change you? Do you live every day differently because of it?
That's a good. Every day's an adventure and every meal's a banquet.
Yeah. No, that's and that's something to live by, George. That is something. Well, that is just an amazing story.
George, thank you for giving us an insight into that.
And the fact that today is
story.
In Australia, it's September 11 today, and we look at what went terrible all those years ago. For you to come out of that, George, thank you for sharing your story.
Well, thank you for inviting me. And if I could take a moment, when I was in Vietnam in '67, '68, I met a lot of Australian blokes. If there's any Australian veterans that are still pumping, having a few pints, I wish them well, and I tell them I wish for me is welcome home. And I want to thank both of you for inviting me, and Moan and Joanne. And God bless you all.
Well, George, thank
George, you're lovely, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking about us.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
That's right. Drivers, start your engine.
Who is our mystery carter?
Yeah, $1,000 if you can tell us who they are, thanks to Eastern Creek Karting. Let's get set. Where are they?
We've got our
They're out on the track already?
Here comes Speed Racer.
Ah, well, I know this person.
Well, what can you tell us? Give us some kind of clue. Who is it?
She's a big carter. Look at her go.
She's got big hair.
Yeah. She's quick too. You know, is he tuning in the radio there? What's he listening to, us? Oh, I don't know.
Well, Taryn is in South Coogee. Taryn, any idea who our mystery carter is?
Oh, I couldn't actually even hear what you were saying. Do you reckon you could repeat it? It was too blurry.
Well, she's
got big hair.
Big hair.
And she's listening on the radio. Have a listen to what she's listening to on the radio. Oh, don't know what all that means. Any idea?
Effie? I don't know.
No.
No?
I will have to dig further, Taryn, while the person's on the... Oh, here she comes again.
You know what? I'm thinking that maybe that was her singing on the radio. Do you think it might have been?
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, wow. No, this is just a
What are the chances she tuned in the radio at the same time that her song was playing?
Look, she's fast.
Extraordinary.
Tell you what, if she was racing against Anthony Kalia, she'd be getting some gold.
Katrina's in Bella Vista.
With that clue, do you know who it is, Katrina?
I didn't actually hear the song, but maybe
What?
We can't hear you.
I can't hear you,
Sorry,
Katrina.
Katrina. Sounds like you're in the car as well.
Lee's in Penrith.
Hi, Lee. Do you know who it might be?
I'm thinking it's Casey Donovan.
It's
You're
Casey
right.
Donovan. Congratulations to you, Lisa. You have won $1,000. Our mystery carter is Casey Donovan at Eastern Creek Karting. Very good indeed. At Eastern Creek Karting, race just an inch off the ground in their super fast karts and feel like a real race car driver. Okay, Ryan, that's enough.
Park it, mate. Park it.
You've just gone, really.
We're not doing Scalextrics right
He's
now.
like Liberace on the panel over there, pushing every button he can find.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation Podcast.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
We're getting closer to someone winning $20,000 if you're our favourite ghoulie of the year.
What have we got today?
You know what gets my ghoulies? It's when my wife decides to mow the lawns and she leaves a strip unmowed I mean, not like one strip. I mean, like just a skinny strip. You know, it's like shaving your hair and leaving like 3 hairs. That gets my ghoulie.
Oh, is he talking about the lawn?
The landing strip.
I'm not sure. I could listen to him all day, though. I do like the accent.
What, you like the Kiwis?
I do.
What else have we got?
What gets my ghoulies is that you walk past somebody and they're not aware of how much they actually stink. And that would be from BO. So, you know what? Be mindful, especially if you're running around with a hectic job. Just say to somebody, your colleague maybe, hey, listen, mate, do I actually stink? If they go, yeah, nah, you know that that's the code to get that David Beckham deodorant, spray yourself with it. And trust me, everyone's going to appreciate it. Whether or not you're a man or a woman, just do it. Please.
I was toying with some aftershave and you didn't like it.
Well, you don't normally wear aftershave. And
I was gifted this aftershave for something that I did, charitable works, or I don't know, one of the many great things I do in the community that I don't talk about until now. And they gifted me some aftershave. And I thought, I'll give it a bit of a dab. And you made a face, you didn't like it.
Well, it didn't smell like you. Mm-hmm. It smelled nice. But it smelled like you'd been rubbing up against a Vanity Fair magazine, because you know how you get those little inserts.
The free one.
The free stuff. So you'd frotted it against the free stuff.
So you didn't like it.
You can do whatever you like, Brendan, in my sphere.
Have the bad and the good. If you dipped out, it doesn't matter. You can always contact us via the iHeartRadio app. It's 5 to 9. Our favourite caller, email or Facebook friend gets a dinner to the value of $300 at Hurricanes Grill. You can find them in Circular Quay, Brighton, Pyrmont and Bankstown. Also, that Jonesy and Amanda tea towel and key ring coming your way. Grace Tame was on the show today. She's known for many things, but we hadn't known this.
There is a person out there who has my face tattooed on their ass.
Wow.
Is that a compliment?
Tribal Drum was beating for Fan for Life. Leanne from Earlwood said that she was at a Crowded House concert and she saw a woman in front of her had a back tattoo of Tim Finn.
I went to a Tim Finn concert at the Berrifed, and, I was pretty close because I'm a bit of a fan. And then front row is a lady with a back tattoo of Tim Finn. Her dress, the back is cut out of her dress, and she's just front row, front and centre, Tim Finn concert with a Tim Finn tattoo. So distracting.
Well, it would be more distracting if it was on her stomach.
Why?
Well, as time goes on, Tim would...
Righto, you two. That's enough.
That's the thing, isn't it? As you get older, all the tattoos are going to... Why the long face?
Where's Tim's mouth going?
Well, Ugly Phil is next up with your chance to win the next trip for 2 to the Cook Islands. We're giving it away on Friday. It's our last one.
Whoa. And we'll be back from 6 to 9 for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, dear, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.